All right, guys, today we are going to be reacting to US versus Germany, three biggest differences. Thank you so much for the support, guys. We almost there to the 5,000 subscribers because my goal is to get to 10,000, guys. 10,000 subscribers, and I think we can do it. Help me out before you just watch my reaction. Click the subscribe button. US versus Germany. I'm always interested about these topics. It's just, we are basically coming from the same kind of background, lineage, culturally, but then something happened here in the United States where French fries and burger were the priorities. Watching these videos, it really connects those missing parts. Let's jump in, guys.
Differences, or should I say three? Hello, Servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Felicia, I'm from Munich, Germany, and currently I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, hi.
What is the biggest difference between Germany and America?
Okay.
This is usually the very first question that people ask me when they find out that I'm from Germany. And honestly, it's kind of hard to answer this for me because both cultures are actually very similar.
There you go.
Both countries are Western, and when an American travels to Germany or a German travels to America, they won't exactly experience a culture shock. It's not like traveling to an Asian or an African country.
No way.
Also,
No way. Definitely, when you go to Europe, you will feel a culture shock, like whoa, kind of a thing. And then I guess if you're in German, you come to Cincinnati, Ohio. I don't think you will find a huge culture shock unless you're going doing the highway, or unless you want to try diner food. Yo, you guys have to try diner food. It's good. It's good. It's good. Damn, man, I'm fasting. I'm like, ooh, feeling.
General actually grow up with a lot of American influence around them. There's a bunch of American pop music on the radio, and we watch American movies and TV shows. Usually dubbed in German so that we can watch it in our own language, but it's still from here. So for a German coming to America, a lot of things will still be different, obviously, but not completely new because we might have heard about it before or seen it in the movies. However, there still are a bunch of differences here that even an Americanized German didn't know before. And the more time you spend in the country, the more differences you will actually discover. So to get back to the question, I personally think that it's very hard to just choose one thing to be the biggest difference. So instead, I picked three things that, in my opinion, are the most obvious ones.
Okay, let's see.
Nummer 1.
Number one.
Everything in America is bigger. Let's just start with the country itself. If you want to do a road trip from the very south to the very north of Germany, it'll take you about 12 hours in total. But if you want to cross the entire country of the United States, it'll take you several days. I looked it up on Google Maps and it says that if you want to drive from New York City on the East Coast to LA on the West Coast, it'll take you 40 hours. Just so that
No, it will take you more than that. No, it will take you more than that. It took me 24 hours to go from New York to Wisconsin. No, it will take you more than that. No, it will take you more than that. Probably a solid 3 days, I would say. Solid 3 days.
You can compare this to Europe. If you start in the center of Germany and drive west for 40 hours, you will be somewhere in Russia, and you will definitely have crossed at least 3 other countries. America is just more spread out and distances are much bigger. So if you're from Europe and you want to look up how far away something is on a map, don't underestimate the distances.
And also, if you live in Alaska, I think it will take you Alaska to Florida. I think it will take you like a week.
It's usually farther away than you think. Another thing that is bigger here are stores. It can be a department store, Walmart, or just the grocery store.
Rite Aid.
It's literally a shopper's paradise, but it'll also take you forever to find something. Or at least it takes me forever to find something. When I first came here and I went to Kroger, which is the grocery store here, it often took me an entire hour just to buy my everyday groceries.
Wow.
Whereas in Germany, if I go to Aldi or Lidl,
hey, she has a good point here, guys. I never thought about this. Most of the time, I don't do groceries in big supermarket, but if I'm looking for some Puerto Rican kind of recipes, I'll do it. But most of the time, I go to Aldi. Aldi is very quick. It's just 20 minutes. That's it. That's it. But if you go to Walmart, to Mahir, Festival, so on and so forth, Mr. Special or Costco. I mean, it will take you hours to just get through it.
To a bigger one like Edeka, I'll definitely be out of there within 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how long I have to wait at the checkout line. You also have a bigger choice of products here, and the products themselves are often bigger as well. So you can, for example, buy these giant onions or a full bucket of mayonnaise, even though Americans would probably still call it a jar. And one thing that might be interesting for the German viewers is that these carts that you sometimes see in movies that people sit in and drive around the stores with, those actually exist and people use them. And some of you might think, oh my god, lazy Americans. But in their defense, it actually makes sense most of the time, because usually people who use them have trouble walking, and the stores are really, really big, believe me. Doing your shopping can sometimes be a little workout even. And I could tell you so much more just about the shopping differences here, but I'm probably just going to make a whole other video just on shopping in America. Let's talk about houses. Yep. You guessed it right, houses are usually bigger here too. I don't think I have ever seen these row houses that we have in Germany a lot, or at least in the big cities in Germany, where you have one house right next to each other and they touch each other and basically share the middle wall. Houses,
I would say New York City, but they're calling more like apartment. They don't call them houses. Like in New York City, you have these buildings where they're together, right? But I think what you're mentioning is something different. Probably in the South, Louisiana, we're talking about here. Probably Louisiana, Missouri, Mississippi. Pretty much,
houses here usually have their own front yard, backyard, their own porch, a driveway, and plenty of space around them. I'm also in a lot of these housing Facebook groups here where people are looking for a room or an apartment, or people have something for rent. And I noticed that they never mention the size of a place or a room. In Germany, on the other hand, you will always tell people how big the place is that you offer in square meters. So I don't know, this just doesn't seem to be super relevant here. And maybe it's because most rooms are big enough anyways. Other than that, I would say that meals are way bigger here. So
we do it for the houses, for the apartment, not too much. We do it for the houses. We look for the square meters for the houses, but not for the rooms.
When you go to a restaurant, you'll just get a bigger portion, and that's also why a lot of people take the rest of their meal back home with them in a box. Cars are bigger here, so you will actually see these huge pickup trucks that Germans only know from the movies. And speaking of cars, streets are bigger too. They don't really have a lot of these super narrow streets here that we have in Germany a lot, where you can't even fit two cars.
Well, in the islands, yes, we do. Right. So, well, not in the mainland, but the island we do. Hawaii, we have those narrow streets. Puerto Rico, we have those narrow streets. And most important, they're clean. And you have to be a little bit. You have to be a good driver. I ain't gonna lie. You have to be a very good driver. You have to know the areas. But in the islands, we do have it. We do have it in Hawaii. Probably one in some of the Pacific Islands and Puerto Rico. We have those narrow streets
next to each other, and if you're going and there's a car coming towards you, you'll have to squeeze into a little parking spot and wait for the other car to pass until you can keep going. That's also why cars don't park on the sidewalks here, because they don't have to. In Germany, they do it sometimes in narrow streets just so that the driving cars have more space to drive through. And speaking of parking, parking lots are way bigger here too, so if you have trouble parking there, you probably shouldn't even try in Germany. Nummer 2.
That's a good point.
Americans are more outgoing than Germans. This is something that I personally love about here, because it makes it very easy to find new friends and meet new people, because Americans will talk to you anywhere. It can be in the store, in the checkout line,
they will make conversation very quick.
Or at the bus stop, and of course in bars and restaurants. They love their small talk, but other than Germans, they always find something that actually goes beyond the superficial weather talk that Germans love to do. As long as it's not politics or religion. Those are two topics that people here are very careful with. But I, for example, have gotten recommendations from people that I had just met about places, for example, that I should visit, or we just ended up talking about Germany, and I always enjoy that a lot. Plus, most things that Americans say to you will be positive and encouraging. Nummer 3. Americans love to exaggerate. If they like something, they'll show it openly and they never seem to be embarrassed by anything. So they're very passionate about supporting their favorite sports teams, for
Yeah.
example, or they also like to show everyone how much they like the school or the college they go to, which is why you will see a lot of Americans run around in merchandise during
Yeah.
the day. So you will see people with merchandise t-shirts, baseball caps, or just wearing a sports jersey in their everyday life. This is something that you won't really see a lot in Germany, and I personally think that that's because Germans in general just like to be a little bit more moderate about these kind of things. We
More private too, right? They like to be more private.
also tend to get embarrassed a little bit more easily, and we don't enjoy sticking out of the crowd as much. So if a German likes something, it's very likely that they will just keep it to themselves until the topic comes up. Americans also love their holiday decoration. You can find it in the stores, in shop windows, in people's front yards, on their porches. It's literally everywhere. In
Yep.
October, it's Halloween.
Christmas is gorgeous, man. Yeah, Christmas is gorgeous. Like, I think that if you have these big houses, I like to go with my family and see the decorations and the lights and everything, the snowmans. It's gorgeous, man.
Decoration, and then through the entire month of November it'll be fall themed decoration for Thanksgiving, and right after that all the way through after Christmas you will find giant Christmas trees,
Yeah.
colorful lights, and lit up houses
Yeah.
everywhere. And some people even love Christmas so much that they make their own car look like Rudolph. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these were my 3 biggest differences.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she very good, very good. I mean, not better, not worse. It's just different, very different, right? This is not a video to determine which. I think it's just different. It's different. We Americans, in some instance, we're kind of extroverts, right? I'm an introvert guy, so. But at the same time, I can recognize the importance of just getting out there and just, socialize and have a little bit of small talk. Man, you will have small talk everywhere. When we go to a diner, we always having small talk with people. We always talk with people. When we go to the supermarket, we always having some small talk, always. And it's good because it just allow you to keep a little bit of that community feeling surround you. So, well, let me know what you guys see in the comment section below, guys. If you guys had any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Meantime, guys, I'll see you next one.